Hey boos, hey! Happy Feminine Fridays! I am Regal Essence. I am QueenTV. I am Life is a Love Goddess. I'm your hood therapist. I'm your crystal healer and dealer. I'm your ray of sunshine in the afternoon time. I'm Life is a Laidback mom. Hey boos, hey! So, I am really excited to bring you guys this topic. Today we are talking about Hermit mode, right? And we are talking about the importance of Hermit mode in your spiritual awakening journey, as well as the importance of going into Hermit mode intermittently throughout your life, and how that helps with your manifestations, right? Because we all want to be able to manifest the life that we want. We want to be able to manifest positive, abundant things into our life, right? So, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Hermit mode. So, Hermit mode, for those of you who have gone through a spiritual awakening, or maybe going through a spiritual awakening right now, Hermit mode is kind of like the period within your spiritual awakening. Whenever you are starting to awaken, you become very, very sensitive. You become very intuitive. And you kind of just basically you just take a break from society, right? Because you start to feel those energetic shifts within yourself, right? And you start to maybe step away from your friend group, because you become very sensitive. Your gifts are coming online. If you've been an empath all your life, your empathic abilities are at an all-time high. And a lot of times life can feel very chaotic, right? So we tend to kind of go into a hermit mode, and we just start to spend time with ourselves, right? Hermit mode is a time to reflect. During your hermit mode, you get to learn your energy, right? Hermit mode is a time where you are alone, right? You also, a number one thing about hermit mode is you learn that to be alone is to not be lonely, right? You go within, you start finding out things about yourself. You start realizing, who am I when I'm not around a whole bunch of people, right? Who is I, right? So you start to learn yourself on a deeper level. You start to go through certain levels of healing, right? You become very tapped into your higher self as well as your higher power. You become a lot more spiritual, right? What else? You're by yourself. You're tapping in. You're enjoying you're learning to enjoy the company of yourself. You're learning to enjoy your own company, right? And that's why a lot of times once you have gone into hermit mode, everybody doesn't stay in hermit mode for the same amount of time. I've been in hermit mode for about, I don't know, I have been in hermit mode probably since quarantine, right? A lot of people probably went through a spiritual awakening during quarantine because we were home alone, right? Some of us was booed up, and some of us was just at home chilling. And another thing, you start to reprogram your thinking. You start thinking different. You start shaping your thoughts around certain situations differently, because as you go through that healing process, as God walks you through that process of understanding that you are enough, your self-love starts to go through the roof, right? You increase your self-love. And therefore, you start to look at life differently. Vibrationally, you change, right? And that also helps your mindset to form differently around certain things, right? Your thought process to form differently around certain things is what I meant to say. So that is what hermit mode looks like. A lot of times you pull back from society. A lot of people, whenever they're in hermit mode, they may quit their job. They may not be working. It's just really a time to kind of just really tap into you, really tap into your spirituality, tap into your higher self. It heightens your intuition because you start to be able to hear and listen without so much outside chatter, right? So that increases your intuition. And that also leads me to the importance of hermit mode for you to be a powerful manifester. Okay, so after you have gone through your spiritual awakening, that I don't know. I may be speaking prematurely, but I would think that your spiritual awakening, when you go into hermit mode during your spiritual awakening, that's probably going to be the longest period of hermit mode, right? And then once you experience hermit mode, you realize that you are going to go into hermit mode often throughout your life journey, right? It's essential. Here's why. Whenever you're in hermit mode, you start to understand certain things about yourself. And like I said, you understand who it is that you are whenever you're not around anybody. You start to really learn who you are as a person, what you like, what you don't like. Your likes and dislikes may actually change as you go through your spiritual awakening. You're going to realize that there's certain things that like you can no longer eat, right? And this will continue to change because as the planet goes through certain energetic shifts and things of that nature, and as we continue to raise our frequencies, we become less tolerant for certain foods. We become less tolerant for certain atmospheres. A lot of times we pull back from social media. We're not on social media too heavy. And if we are, we kind of like take it in doses, right? So yeah, so let's get back to this manifesting, right? So like I talked about with social media. Social media has a lot going on, right? Like when you go into social media, it's the news feeds, it's so much going on, right? So the importance of being able to intermittently go into hermit mode and use that to your benefit is the fact that whenever you go into a hermit mode, a lot of times you will pull back from social media. Like me, myself, like I realize that there'll be days that I'm like super active on social media, active. And then it's like, I take like a couple days break, right? And that break will allow you to quiet your mind, right? Quiet your mind, be alone with your thoughts, be able to think, be able to get downloads from your higher self, your spirit team, God, however it is that you want to look at it. It allows you to just shut out the clutter, right? And this is important for us to be able to do all throughout our life journey, to be able to shut out the clutter, allow things to be quiet and still, right? It also allows you to be able to tap into your self-care. And self-care is something that you do regardless to whether anybody else is around, right? It's something that you do to be able to take care of yourself. Hermit mode also, it recharges your energy, okay? So let's put all of those things together. You've quieted out the chatter. You are able to tap in more spiritually, be it with your higher self, be it with God. It gives you time to be in prayer. It gives you time to be able to talk and dialogue with God. And then, and for him to dialogue with you, right? So all of those things set us up to be able to manifest, right? Because I'm thinking clearly. I'm able to journal and write things down, meaning I'm able to get into some scripting. Scripting is a very important part of manifesting. So during that time, I'm taking some time to just quiet my mind, be able to write, journaling, scripting. That's also a way of being able to tap into your higher self, because if you're just writing, sometimes you'll realize when you go back and read all of the things that you just, it's free writing. When you go back and realize all of the things that you wrote down, like you'll be like, what? I can't even remember that I wrote that. And it's actually because it is a way of your spirit being able to communicate with you, be able to tell you certain things. That then allows you to be able to take certain steps. It will allow you to be able to come up with new ideas, right? refreshing your energy will allow you to kind of like just release the stress and just be in a zen state. That will also allow information and downloads to be able to come to you more easily, right? That's also going to allow you to come up with your next steps, right? More ideas, what your next steps are. It helps you to think clearly. You can clearly sit down and think about what it is that you want in your future, what things you want to see for yourself going forward. Y'all, my phone, you know how I was so excited to get on here and do this video, I forgot to clear my storage. So you'll be able to see what it is that you want for yourself going forward. You'll be able to come up with fresh ideas, like said. And with that, you are clearing your mind so that you can put those steps in motion. You're able to visualize things so that you can then get started on what it is that you need to do, right? It gives you rest, right? So you come out, you're more refreshed. It keeps you younger. It keeps you young. It keeps you vibrant. And that young, vibrant energy always keeps you, or that childlike state always keeps you in a mode of creation, right? So those things are very, very, very important in regards to you being able to manifest, right? So I just want to encourage you guys, if you are going through your hermit mode, that is why you're going through your hermit mode. And then I also want to encourage you to not be afraid. And you probably, like, spiritually, you will know when you need to go in hermit mode, because your spirit will just your spirit will just start to shut down. But don't think that it's odd, but also realize it's a very, very important part of your spiritual journey to help you with recharging, tapping into your spirit, getting fresh downloads, and then also translating those things into your ability to manifest the things that you want to see happen and transpire in your life, okay? It's also very, very important before you start to take on a huge project, or you are transitioning from one point in your life to another. Say you're starting a new job, or you're quitting a job, and you have to figure out like what your next steps are after that. Your hermit mode is going to be very, very beneficial to your spiritual journey. So I just want to encourage you guys to take the breaks that you need to just shut out the world, quiet your mind, quiet all the chatter in your head. Get back to who it is that you are whenever no one else is around, right? And just continue to operate in your authentic self, and think it not robbery to take that time that you need to go into hermit mode. All right. So that's all I got for y'all today on this Divine Feminine Fridays. I love you guys so very, very much. Drop me a comment. Tell me a little bit about what your hermit mode experience was like, okay? Share this video with your friends. Share it with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the bell button so you know that every time I post up. And remember, I love you.